how do entrepreneurs find success, right? Yes, it's to provide a valuable service to solve problems to the community or to the customer or whoever the audience is, right? You're providing a value or service to solve problems, okay? But let's unpack that a little bit more. How do you identify problems to solve? Bam! This is the End-to-End Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Yun Win, and as my friends affectionately call me the Ninja or Prolific Ninja, you can call me Ninja too. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the Alpha to the Omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, success, entrepreneurship, mentorship, all the things, inspiration, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. It is such an exciting time right now for me. But before I get into that, I want to start off this podcast like I start my day every day, which is to express some gratitude. Gratitude to you all out there who have been liking, following, commenting, and most importantly, sharing this show, because we don't have any sponsorships. This is done on my dime, on my time. So I'm paying thousands and thousands of dollars just to get this content out to the universe, hopefully to inspire billions of people across the planet, which is our mission. But I cannot do that without you. So I just want to say thank you. And if you're new to this show, because we don't have sponsors or a massive budget, the only way we grow the show is if you share it. So if you're new to this show, or if you've been listening a while, you already know that if you find any value out of this show, you liked it, even if you didn't like it, but you got something, even just a little tidbit of information that you could apply that is inspirational to you, learn something, laughed, whatever. If you found some value, please do share the show. And as I like to say, if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. But why am I so excited? Why am I so excited? Well, it says it right here. Legacy X token. Now, we don't have any sponsorships, but I'm telling you now just because it's an example of actualizing a dream, which was on my last episode. My token launched. It launched over the weekend. And thank you all. Also, gratitude. Thank you all out there who supported the launch of the token, Legacy X token. It was a phenomenal launch. It's a phenomenal process. What is Legacy X token? Well, it's the idea, again, finding inefficiencies or gaps in systems, which I'm going to talk about today, where we apply blockchain technology to the legal industry, where we can memorialize legacies on the blockchain. Okay, so if you're new to crypto or blockchain, it might be a little esoteric or hard to understand, but it's applying blockchain technology to move the real world of legacies into the digital world. And the token itself is a utility token to allow you to get on our platform in order to do that. So I'll do a whole new episode on that with respect to Legacy X token. But that's the idea of the token, and we successfully launched it on Saturday night. So we had a pre-sale on Friday, launched it on Saturday, and here we are 3 days later, and the token is has already appreciated by, I want to say, 70% over 3 days. So super, super excited about that. And all that to say is that, disclaimer, because I am an attorney, this is not a solicitation for investment of any kind. I'm just sharing this information as educational and for entertainment purposes only. If you're going to put money to work, talk to your own professional investment advisor before doing any of that. And obviously, it's high risk. You can lose everything. But in full disclosure, also, I obviously, as the creator of the token, own a piece of the project. So super, super excited. And for those of you that are listening only, it's Legacy X token. So LEGX is the ticker symbol. We're not on the major exchanges yet because we just launched, but our plan is to get on some of these exchanges like Coinbase and CoinMarketCap and all these other things. So you'll have to do a swap if you want some. But you can check out the website, www.legacyxtoken.com for more information, legacyxtoken.com. Super, super stoked. It's always been, I don't want to say a dream, but a goal of mine to launch a token. because I've had this idea in my mind for such a long time about how to bridge blockchain into the legal world and making an impact or a legacy going beyond that. So super, super stoked. Thank you for the supporters. It's an early start. It's a long road, but we take it very seriously. And so if you want to get involved, check out the website, shoot me an email, DM, whatever. Happy to answer any questions related to the token launch. Once again, Legacy X token. Super stoked. But to the point though, how do entrepreneurs find success, right? Yes, it's to provide a valuable service to solve problems to the community or to the customer or whoever the audience is, right? You're providing a value or a service to solve problems, okay? But let's unpack that a little bit more. How do you identify problems to solve, right? How do you identify problems to solve? Because you can go out there and open a lemonade shop in an area where you have other restaurants. That's not solving a problem. I mean, it may be solving a small problem relative to the market that wants lemonade, fresh lemonade, in a very overcrowded system of multiple restaurants where they can get other drinks, but it's not solving a large problem. So problems exist across product lines. A problem could exist by you providing a product that doesn't exist, or by you providing a product that's better than the existing product lines in the same genre. It can also be a problem in service. Like, so you can have multiple dry cleaners across the block, but if you provide a better service level that's solving a problem, maybe a more customized service or more, first-class service or more premium service, that's solving a problem for that market segment that is looking for that. Okay, so it's product or service that you're solving a problem. But let's back it up a little bit more than that. You see, I forget what episode where I talk about there's a matrix that we live in, which is true. The Matrix is a documentary in a very extreme kind of way. But when you look around, the world is made of systems, okay? And there's two kinds of systems. Systems that are deliberate, okay, where a committee or people have thought out, okay, this is the way things are going to be done. Talking about laws, regulations, so on. This is the way things need to be done. Okay, all these thousands and thousands and thousands of laws that support careers of lawyers. Okay, there's a system that is by design. Okay. The other system is the system developed by human nature, habitual systems, systems that aren't written down, but by human nature or by agreement between individuals, there's a system in place. You and your family, how you do things. You and your friends, right? You and your personal trainer. Over time, habitually, we develop systems, whether for ourselves, this is how I'm going to start my day. That's a system. This is how I'm going to go through my day. That's a system. This is how I'm going to wind down my day. That's a system. This is how I'm going to interact with my employees. Those are systems, right? The systems that are in place, okay? That in itself is a matrix that governs your life. Okay, you have the systems by design, systems by habit or human nature for yourself and how you relate to your environment of other individuals. Okay, now how do you become an entrepreneur in that? Well, because they are systems and because they're both designed by humans, inherently there are errors or gaps. Okay, there are errors or gaps in systems. So the best entrepreneurs that I've encountered and studied in real life and in books and reading and all that, the best ones are the ones that can see these systems, visualize the matrix, visualize these systems from a business perspective, and identify two things. One, where is there a gap in the system where I can either make a product or provide a better service to fill? Okay? The second one is where is there in the process or systems where I can make it more efficient or better? and fill that gap. Okay, so you have these systems, fill the gap, or make it more efficient. If you could do one of the, or both of those, or two in one, even better. Okay, now you're starting to become an entrepreneur. Obviously, that's a mental exercise where identifying these systems and structures and gaps and so on. You have to execute on it. You have to execute on that identification. But for the most part, to start, you have to identify, see these systems in place, and they start at multiple levels, from the high level view systems, our government, our structure, our society, all the way to the smallest view, what you do for yourself. You might go through your daily life and you'll be like, man, hypothetically, crazy example, man, I spend 10 minutes, shaving for guys, and then I spend another 5 minutes brushing my teeth. What if there were a device that could do both in one time? And instead of 15 minutes, it only takes me 2 minutes. Right? Now you're on your way. Now you triggered something. Okay? Right? For Legacy X token, man, there's a need as people are getting older, our demographics are getting older, to manage these massive estates and legacies that these baby boomers want to leave on. Well, how do we manage that with technology in the blockchain, Legacy X token? From a high level all the way to the smallest level. You have to learn to see systems, the matrix, okay? Right? The matrix. Most people don't do these things. They don't run these mental exercises because what? They get habitual in just their daily routine. Oh, I'm going to do this. At this time, I'm going to go to work, get on the bus, get on the train, get to the office, sit in my cubicle, go to lunch, take a break, finish my afternoon, get back on the bus, get in my car, drive home, rush hour, get home, take care of dinner, feed the kids, go to bed, rinse and repeat. Right? But here's the secret. You can still do those things, but have a fresh perspective. Go through your daily routine. And instead of just mindlessly putting one foot in front of the other, going through the day, think about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing, why you're doing it, how long it's taking you, what's involved, who is involved. All those questions, who, what, when, where, why, how you're doing these things. And then the next step is, hey, how can I make this better? What's missing that could make it better? How can I make it more efficient? And if you get used to doing that, then you start to apply that outside of your life. You're observing people, you're observing society, you're observing, how things work. And then you're like, well, okay, I see, people are doing these things and a lot of people are doing the same thing. Well, is there something there that I can make better or faster or more efficient? Or is there a product I can push in there to make it better, faster, more efficient? Now you're starting to think like an entrepreneur, right? Problem solver, adding value. Because anything you do, anything you create that can make things better, faster, more efficient is an opportunity. That's where true wealth can be made. It's not 9 to 5 typing on a keyboard crunching numbers. That's getting paid for your time, but that's not creating wealth. Wealth is all about problem solving, adding value to people, structures, or things that make things better, faster, or more efficient. Okay, so everything you have to understand, the matrix exists, but not like X's and O's and in a digital realm like the matrix, but in it's like Wi-Fi, where it's there, the Wi-Fi waves are there, you just can't see it, but it's there. It's the systems that you live in, the systems that society lives in is the matrix, one of the matrices that I talk about. I forget what episode it is, but one of those. And so to become an entrepreneur within the matrix, understand there are systems that are in play. There are systems that move. There's systems that overlap. One system relies on the other. It's like software in a computer, right? You turn on your computer, your iMac, whatever. There's a booting system. It boots up the computer. Then once it's powered up, then it moves into the operating system. And as the operating system is running, now you're putting on like Safari or Windows or Firefox, and then you're putting on all these apps on top of the underlying system, which is the operating system, right? And software developers look at that, and they're looking how to make things efficient. Software hackers are looking at that, finding the vulnerabilities. Okay? Same situation. Same situation. It's like a chessboard. You're raising above the chessboard, and you're seeing where all the pieces are to find the next move, which is to identify a gap or to make things more efficient, faster, better, cheaper, to get the same result or a better result. Okay, that is the mind of an entrepreneur. That is a mind of problem solving. That is the mind of a critical thinker. So you got to get out of the mindset of being an NPC, right? Instead of playing the video game, learn how to create a video game, right? Then you're solving something better. Maybe you're finding a different kind of video game that no one's ever done on, Web 3.0. Or in AI, or in the the metaverse with the goggles, right? There are different levels to this, but the underlying basis of all of it is you got to understand systems and how they work, the current system and how you can improve the system. And that takes a little bit of creativity and imagination. Man, okay, if I have this better service or this product that's better or a new product, how would that change the dynamic of the existing system to be better, faster, cheaper, more efficient? Okay, that gap between the existing system and the new system, were it to implement your solution, that gap, that delta, is the value that you're providing. The bigger that gap, the more wealth you can create. Okay, so those of y'all that are just listening, I have my two hands, one above the other, and there's a distance in between, right? If you're only providing a marginal benefit with whatever you're thinking of providing, you're not gonna, you might make a lot of wealth, but you're gonna have to apply it to something that is used, multiple times. If you're providing a wider gap, you don't have to have hits as much to create the same wealth. Now, the best option is if you provide a wide gap and it's something that has to be used multiple times, right? A Legacy X platform, right? You have hundreds of millions of seniors retiring and eventually passing away. They got to do something with their legacies, right? So, to bring it all back together, how to have the mindset of an entrepreneur is to identify the systems. Remember, there's two systems: societal created, written down, thought out, committee, whatever, laws, rules, regulations, and then there's human habitual systems that aren't written in stone, but people go through it just by habit. Well, it's always been done this way, so we're going to keep doing it this way, right? Look and observe those systems in your own life to start, and learn how to critically think about those systems and evaluate them instead of just, automatically going through the motions. Think about them actively. It's like active reading, right? You can read, but you're not going to retain as much as unless you actively read with a highlighter and writing notes in the margins and all that. You memorize things better. You understand concepts better. Actively go through your life. List out the systems that you're going through. And then now understand where you can be more efficient, where you can be, do things better, or where you can fill in a gap that exists, right? And then see if you can identify or invent a solution for that. The best is getting out of yourself and looking at systems in society, in different industries, different cultures, just different things. And if you can hit on a big one, more power to you, right? But then you're thinking about solutions that you can either invent, create, or provide a better service that makes things cheaper, more efficient, better, easier to do, and provides an extreme high level of value for the participants in those systems. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of you out there, that are just listening, that are just thinking like, how did he think of that thing? Or, gosh, that's so simple, but man, everybody uses it. That's true. That's true. Somebody invented the first straw. Said, man, it's easier to drink out of a straw than on a, you can spill and everything as you tilt the cup up. Let me just put a tube in there and make it easier to drink, less messy. All of a sudden, whoever invented that first straw, right? Don't think that it has to be some crazy blockchain technology it doesn't have to be that. Not everybody's Elon Musk. It doesn't have to be that grand of a thing. It could be really, really, really simple. It could be just providing an exceptional level of service that that the competitors in your community don't provide. Right? White glove service for some type of mundane industry. Yeah, you can charge a premium for that, but then people will pay for that. Right? So it doesn't have to be something, like earth-shattering. It could be the simplest thing to become an entrepreneur and become very successful and become ultimately financially independent. That's all you got to do. Now, I say it's all you got to do as if it's simple. It is exceptionally hard. It's exceptionally hard. It's very simple to do, to think about, and to find and identify if you apply yourself. It's exceptionally hard to execute on it, right? I had the idea of Legacy X Token for several years, and it took just the right execution steps, finding the right people, getting the right things involved, letting the industry catch up to my thought process, right? Because I was a little too early in thinking about it. That's my gift and it's a double-edged sword for me. I actually think things way before the industry is ready for it. So then I'm too far ahead. So I've learned to kind of slow things down a little bit or be more patient, right? A lot of things have to happen to execute and become successful. But this podcast is about just having the mindset. And having the mindset is all within your control. And it's really, really easy to do once you build the habit of it. It is a skill. It's like, working out. You got to work out every day to build the muscle. Learning to be that, having that entrepreneur eye and mindset to identify, it's a skill that you have to execute. Just like discipline, just like persistence, just like all these things, they're skills. People aren't born with it, they learn it. People are born with the motivation, but they have to learn the skill to apply it. Okay? So think about it. If you really want to become an entrepreneur, learn to identify systems and learn to identify gaps in the system. Because when you fill a gap, you're going to provide some value. And if you provide the right value, people will pay for that. Companies will pay for that. And that's, my friends, how you get that initial start to become an entrepreneur. So super, super, super exciting week, man. Legacy X Token, I'm just stoked, man. Stoked beyond belief. It's not a promo, not a pitch, but it's just, I'm excited and I can't contain it because it's one of these things where it's like, damn, I've been wanting to do this for a while and I pulled it off. And, shout out for all those people that celebrated with me. I got people that just like are ecstatic. We're like, man, you spoke it into existence, which I did. And, you've been talking about it and now it's here. Yes, it is. So super, super excited. But to all of you out there, if you have any questions about, finding systems, finding gaps, send them in. ask@the2n podcast. Or just comment or message in one of the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, N2N Podcast, or on YouTube, N2N Podcast. When this airs, just put it in the comments below. I'll take a look if you have a question or DM me direct. Happy to answer them anytime. I want everybody here to be inspired, to try to become an entrepreneur, because that leads you to financial independence, ultimately, if you're successful and able to carry your ideas and projects all the way through. So, like I say, if you found value in the show or any of my other episodes, please, if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. Be great today. Be even more grateful, because gratitude is the crux of everything for success. So happy to be back in the studio. Happy to have launched Legacy X Token, LEGX. Looking forward to bringing you another episode very, very soon.